In this video, we are going to discuss about the types of blood circulation and transport in plants and in circulation in animals. So, types of blood circulation. As we all know, in our body, the blood is circulating in the form of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. So, types of blood circulation are systematic circulation. So, circulation of oxygenated blood from the left ventricle of the heart to the various organs of the body and return of deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. Aorta carries oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. So, we all know the left side of the heart receives oxygenated blood from lungs. So, after filling the left ventricle, that is oxygenated blood has to transport to the other parts of the body. Okay, other parts of the body, and the oxygenated blood is distributing, that is passes through the other parts of the body. And the same way, this right side, that is the right auricle or atrium, receives oxygenated blood. And we all know that aorta supplies oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. The aorta only carries the oxygenated blood to all parts of the way, that is all parts of the body. Okay, so that type, it is called as systematic circulation. Systematic means, as we know, the right auricle and right ventricle receives the pure blood, is nothing but the oxygenated blood. So, then the oxygenated blood in the left ventricle have to transport to the other parts of the body. It has to pass through the other parts of the body, that is oxygenated blood. During that time, the deoxygenated, that means impure blood, was received by right atrium. Okay, and we all know the aorta carries the oxygenated blood to other parts of the body. So, like this process is called systematic circulation. Next, we move on to the pulmonary circulation. The path of pulmonary circulation starts in the right ventricle. The pulmonary artery rises from the right ventricle and reaches the lungs with deoxygenated blood. So, pulmonary veins collects the oxygenated blood from the lungs and supply it to the left auricle of the heart. So, pulmonary means, as we all know, the right auricle receives the impure blood or deoxygenated blood. Then the blood passes to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, there is a pulmonary artery which takes the blood to the lungs for purification. After purification, the pure blood, that is oxygenated blood, was sent to the right, was sent to the left auricle. So that is here the lungs. Okay, you can see the lungs are involving, that is from the right atrium and right ventrium, that is first the impure blood was reached at the right atrium or auricle, and then it reaches to the right ventricle. From there, the pulmonary artery takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification of the blood. After purification, from the lung, the blood reached to the left auricle. Okay, this is called pulmonary circulation. So, the lungs are involved. So, that's why we say it as pulmonary circulation. Next, we move on to coronary circulation. The supply of blood to the heart muscle is called coronary circulation. So, the heart needs the blood. Okay. So, such type of circulation is called what? Coronary circulation. So, coronary circulation means, so heart need the supply of blood. That supply is called coronary sinus, that is coronary circulation. So, heart is a cardiac muscle. The cardiac muscle receives oxygenated blood from coronary arteries that originate from the aortic, that is aortic arc. So from the aortic arc, here you can see an aortic arc. So from that aortic arc only the coronary artery arises, and through this coronary arteries only the cardiac muscle receives the pure blood or oxygenated blood. And the deoxygenated blood from the cardiac muscle drains into the right atrium by coronary sinuses. So through the coronary sinuses the deoxygenated blood is passed to the right auricle. So when the blood circulates twice through the heart in one complete cycle, it is called double circulation. So the circulation takes place twice in the heart. That is, the blood circulation takes place twice in the heart. Such type of circulation in one cycle, such type of circulation is called double circulation. So in double circulation, the oxygenated blood do not mix with the deoxygenated blood. Okay. In some animals, the oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood are mixed and pass through the heart only once. So in double circulation, there is no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. But in single circulation, there is the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated are mixed. Okay, deoxygenated and oxygenated blood are mixed, and it passes through the heart only once. So only once means it is called single circulation. Example: fishes, amphibians and certain reptiles. Heartbeat. Heartbeat, the complete contraction and relaxation of atrium and ventricles of the heart constitute the heartbeat. So as we know, there is a contraction and relaxation of the heart is called the heartbeat. So per second for a normal person, the heartbeat per minute 72 to 75 times. Okay, the normal heartbeat should be 72 to 75 times per minute. This they can ask in 1 mark. Initiation and conduction of heartbeat. So as we have discussed that human heart is a myogenic in nature. So myogenic means here the contraction is initiated by a specialized portion of the heart is called sino-auricular node, which is called SA node. Where it is situated means it is situated in the right auricle or right atrium near the opening of superior vena cava. So the SA node is broad at the top and tapering below. So it is like this. So you can think this is the right auricle, and here it is the sino-auricular node, and it is broad at the top, and in the lower side it got taper like structure. Okay. So and the sino-auricular node is made up of thin fibers, and sino-auricular node act as a pacemaker of the heart because it is capable of initiating the impulses which can stimulate the heart muscle to contract, that is to contract. So the sino-auricular node is responsible for the conduction of heartbeat. So it is seen in the right side, that is right auricle region, and the shape at the top it is broader and in the lower it got taper, and it is also called as the pacemaker of the heart. So the impulse from sino-auricular node spread a wave of contraction over the right and the left arterial wall, pushing the blood through the atrioventricular valves into the ventricles. So you can see this, what is the thing means, think this is the right auricle and right ventricle. So due to the sino-auricular that is giving the impulse, that is signal, what happens, the blood in the right auricle reaches the ventricle. Okay, the wave of contraction from sino-auricular node reaches the atrioventricular, that is AV node, which is stimulated to emit an impulse of contraction spreading to the ventricular muscle via the atrioventricular bundle and the Purkinje fibers. So after that completion of the sino-auricular node, the AV node functions, AV auriculoventricular node, it start function. So when the blood reaches the ventricle, during that time that is it reaches the auriculoventricular bundle and Purkinje fibers. Next, pulse. So you have seen the pulse in your hand. There are so many pulse in the body. So when the heartbeat of the blood is forced into the arteries, so the blood are moving to the arteries, that time you will get the pulse. So the expansion of artery every time the blood is forced into it is called pulse. So when the blood is forced into the artery, that time you can feel the pulse. Such type it is called, that is pulse. It can be felt by placing the finger on the artery near the wrist. Normal pulse rate ranges from 70 to 90 per minute. More to know, neurogenic and myogenic heartbeat. Neurogenic heartbeat, it is initiated by nerve impulses caused from the nerve ganglion situated near the heart. Example, annelids, most arthropods. Myogenic heartbeat is initiated by the specialized group of modified heart muscle fibers. Example, molluscans and vertebrates. Atrioventricular bundle, that is atrioventricular bundle, was discovered by His in 1893. So it is also called as His bundle. Cardiac cycle. So completing the heartbeat. In that time, you get the events. To complete a cardiac cycle, there are some events. The beginning and the completion of one heartbeat is called cardiac cycle. So during the cardiac cycle, blood flows through the chambers of the heart in a specific direction. So the blood will flow in a specific direction. So each cardiac cycle lasts about 0.8 seconds. The events during the single cardiac cycle involves arterial systole, contraction of auricles 0.1 second. Ventricular systole, contraction of ventricles 0.3 seconds. Ventricular diastoles. So ventricles, it takes place in the ventricles 0.4 seconds. Okay, so you can see here the ventricular diastole, it lasts for 0.4 seconds and the ventricular systole 0.3 seconds and auricular systole 0.1 second. Okay. Heart sound. So the rhythmic closure and opening of the valves is called the heart sound. So which causes the heart sound. The first sound, that is lup sound, it is long duration. So when it forms during the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid after the beginning of ventricular systole. The second sound is dub. It is the shorter duration and it is produced by the closure of semilunar valves at the end of ventricular systole. Hope you understand the topic. If you have any doubts, post the doubts in the comment box. If you want to watch the video in Tamil, I had given the link in the description box. You can go and watch it. Give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel.